Welcome to From Poundland to Paradise, aka from top of the league to going out in a playoff semi to Crewe or Vale, your monthly guide to all things Walsall FC. I'm Craig, he's Joe. Let's talk March 2025. Whoa, we want to go down. So, Joe, do you think we should get a giant group suicide pact going when we bottle the promotion, do you think?
I've already got the bus booked anyway, for the promotion bus, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Let's go opposite spectrums on this one.
We should get the minibus booked for Wembley, because if we do get there, then we're going to be gutted if the ball's sold out, isn't it?
God.
We need to get the tinnies on. We can't have any one of us driving.
That's the thing. If we do go promotion, we're obviously going now, aren't we?
Yeah, of course. We'll get all of our casual mates.
Playoffs.
Nice little 20-man buzz.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Tinnies all day, like we did for the...
but we don't want that.
The Johnson's Painty back in the day.
But yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. But we're going to get it, though, because here are the results from March. So we did say in the last podcast that it was going to be make or break. In the end, it didn't end up being that make or break.
Exactly.
Luckily, everyone else...
Yeah,
it's absolutely just guzzling the bottles of Gatorade as well. The bottles are just flying.
That's the thing. Everyone in the top four is just bottling, basically.
Thank God. Notts County, Wimbledon, Vale, we love you all. Bradford. I mean, Bradford have been...
they've been good, but...
They've been solid because they've actually got themselves into where they are, but the rest of them have been just flopping like crazy. Like they could have easily just...
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But anyway, so on the 1st of March, we had Swindon at home. And we lost 1-0. I predicted the Ollie would out-tactic Sadler, that it was a match made in hell, basically, because Sadler's very stubborn tactically, and they're tactically inflexible, no experience, and Holloway is, I think, probably the best manager in the league, all things considered. And it proved to be. They completely had us figured out, and we really couldn't do anything to them, and they should have probably won more than 1-0 in the end.
Completely figured out, but, I mean... The refs, every home game we've been to this month, refs have been awful, and it was the case in that one. But you can't really put it down to that. Yeah, like you say, we're just outclassed. And yeah.
I was talking to you about it at the game the other day. I was curious, and I had a look on Google to see how much referees make, because we always wonder why they're always so noncy. You know what I mean? Why are they always sort of like 50-year-old librarians or 50-year-old head teachers? They got that sort of. Weird power trip of an assistant manager at McDonald's type of vibe.
Police officer vibe.
Yeah, exactly. They got that heavy energy of that. And I thought it was because they probably don't get paid nothing, but no, I had a look, and the Premier League ones make a shitload of money.
Yeah,
but even the EFL ones, from what I saw, they're making $35,000 a year and stuff in some cases. So for
a part-time job as well.
Yeah, why are we not just going to Pure Gym, getting a personal trainer from there who's hench and won't take any shit and, is masculine, and just saying, do you want to make loads more money than you're making now? And you won't feel the need to do all these sort of cringe decisions to get that, whatever that
because he's already
fuel they get inside, don't they?
He already knows he's a massive don. So.
Yeah, exactly.
These
are doing that sort of...
Yeah, passive-aggressive, they're first in the league and they're at home, better not give them anything to the point that it's negative, basically.
Stubborn's the key word of our season. It's they hear the fans point out an obvious insane decision and they go, just because you want that and I've got the power and you can't actually make me give correct decisions.
I actually feel like they're like that as well.
And I feel occasionally you get one who's not like that, and normally they're fit, in shape, young, normal, and then you go, just get them to do it, and then they won't feel the need to every time be going, just overcompensating or whatever. But we just carry on with the nonsense that we always have, and we had 3 of them again this month, and they were just adverts for abuse against refs. When you see all that stuff about how you should respect the refs and that, you're man, you definitely
stop putting them out. Then it's nothing's going to change unless you actually get better refs.
I just can't respect it. I can't respect it.
No.
Anyway, 4th of March, we went away to Carlisle. Another very sort of experienced manager in Mark Hughes for them. He hasn't managed to turn it around because they're definitely going down. But at this point when we played them, they had started picking up a few draws and they were looking like they were getting a bit harder to break down at least. So I thought this was going to be tough.
Better organised.
And it proved to be 1-1. Really nice opening goal from Alan.
Amazing goal. Jeez. Alan.
Sturck like chips it over to the back post, and you were saying Alan needs to be creeping around that back post more for them.
Definitely. Exploiting that. Well, he was able to exploit it a lot there, but I don't know if maybe teams have got the drop on that. Maybe have tried it and we haven't noticed because it didn't work. You know what I mean?
He's got technique, hasn't he? So, I mean, you all know that.
Mad technique,
and he buried that in the bottom corner on his left peg. So if you can get him in and around the box, not just from dead balls, maybe that's what we need as well. Is more sort of ricochets from corners and that. Have him in and around, but it's hard
playing
to
the feet more. Just in general, we need to play to the feet more. Because there's just too much hoofball at the moment. But I think that's just down to nerves, really.
Yeah, it's a big part of it, and a bit selection, which we'll come on to.
Yeah.
Another point from this game that we both noticed was the UV lights in their ground, man. They look sick.
It's crazy. What do they do with that? Like,
I love it.
It looks like there's some robots there, isn't it? Aliens.
Definitely going away to that next year. I mean, I was up that way with the family like a while ago. It's in Cumbria.
Yeah, but Jesus.
So it's a bit of a jaunt, to be fair. And that's the thing. It's a bit of a drive. We went for a week.
Get the train or something, maybe.
But I'm down though. If we get to go, I kind of would. I'd want to go only though if it was a night game, really, because I want to go to that.
Yeah.
To be in the blue lights, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think that aren't they the crypto team? Didn't they get taken over by a crypto firm?
I didn't know, but that would make sense. Yeah, that's probably why they're
probably doing some crazy weird shit.
Well, anyway, 8th of March, we had another just stellar result at home to Grimsby, 3-1 loss.
God. Thanks for that birthday present, guys. Day after my birthday, mate. Oh God.
Like you were saying earlier, that they didn't put the highlights on the YouTube channel. They didn't. I couldn't find them. Ashamed they were.
I'm not gonna lie, sorry. Don't want to bait you out, club, but yeah.
And Grimsby are in and around the playoffs now, but I'm pretty sure when that game went in, they were within reach, but they weren't exactly like flying. You would have thought
some
at
good
home
results, I think.
That would have been
at home. Yeah, we should have buried
top of the league. You should really be winning, but no. Harrison scores early.
Amazing
great goal.
Yeah. Another assist.
Flowing counter.
Well, not a direct assist, but like Sturck puts one through to Adoma. Adoma puts Ellis through, and then he finishes again on his left in the opposite corner of the goal. Is amazing.
Yeah, lovely finish, bottom left corner. I think we've missed him, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
I think it's a shame because he was starting to sort of come up to speed a little bit, and we were saying like, this looks like he could be the low we've been missing.
Yeah,
because we're missing that profile, aren't we? Really, especially without Gordon as well. All we've got is the big men. I guess you could say Adoma's not that, but in terms of legs and that, isn't he?
Someone more athletic to press more, like Lowe was doing. Yeah.
And quick, running behind the defence. Because when he got that ball played through to him, I'm not throwing any shade, but if that's Matt or Amanchi, there's no way that goal's happening. They're easily getting caught up with.
Yeah.
But he's got so much pace, he just gets away from the last defender who tries to catch up with him. And it's a great finish. So it's a shame. But anyway, that was an early goal, and then we fell to bits. And the vitriol on the terraces was...
that was a tough one.
Pretty good. And then we didn't have a home game for ages, did we? That's why yesterday it felt like, or not so, recording this 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Wimbledon game, which we'll come on to. Felt like we hadn't been to the game in ages. At home, anyway.
So two away games.
So anyway, Bromley away, 2-2 draw, was next up on the 13th of March. We got a really they scored a really nice opener, and with another long range strike, and I thought they played some really nice football, and to be fair, we were very lucky to get out of there with a 2-2 draw. I thought
definitely.
Which again, not great, because they're in the middle of the table for a reason. They've got a lot of sort of technique and they play some beautiful stuff, but if you've got anything about you, if you're tactically astute, and you really are a top of the league kind of team, you're probably not conceding 2 goals against them and sneaking out with a 2-2 draw. But
that's it. I don't know if we were missing Williams in that. No, we did have Williams for that one, I think. But
it's hard to remember. But he's been out way too much. Another thing we'll come on to. 22nd of March, then Gillingham away, 0-0 draw. This is the only game of the month where I can say, again, it's obviously a terrible result, and Gillingham are just, God, we really should be putting them away. Yeah. But we did play well. And we should have won 2 or 3-0. We had at least 2 literal open goals from 2 yards out. I think Matt was one, and Manchi was another. Really bad when you need it right now as well. You really can't afford to
give
do it.
Any chances like that. Yeah.
Imagine the difference that would have made. Them 3 points that would make this
3
situation
points going
now
into
look
a
so
home game.
different.
Yeah. Would have been amazing.
But no.
But, hey, another point on the road, I guess. You can't
but at
cry
least the
about it,
performance was good.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
like you said, it's
and
a
I feel
point.
like they're really going for it now. Since then, like you can see that they are really, really, really knowing that it's like crunch time now. If they don't pull these results out and at least get a point from every single game, I mean, we'll do the kind of table calculations on what we need to go up, but what we need from April and that, but we need a lot, as much as we can get.
Yeah, draw at 1 point at least is better than none, and that was definitely the case on Saturday at home to Wimbledon, because not only is it us getting another point, but more importantly, it's depriving one of them. In this big week of Wimbledon, Donny and Vale, which is just like 3 absolute cup finals, the biggest games of the season. Even if we draw all 3, you want more, but at least you're keeping all them pegged back. Yeah,
you've took 2 off them.
You can't let them. We can't lose to any of them. That's going to be really bad if we do.
No, we definitely cannot lose to any of them. No, definitely not. And
we almost did against Wimbledon. Again, I thought we offered nothing, pretty much no threat. Their goal, Hornby made a great save, and then their lad put it into the bottom corner from about 20 yards out. It's a nice finish, to be fair. Harder than it looks. But, I thought they deserved to win the game. I thought we were just completely lifeless, as we have been for ages. No sort of threat up front. And then, luckily for us, Alan whips in an unbelievable free kick in the last minute. I mean, the pressure on that free kick. Not only, like you said, has he got us a point there, but he's cost one of our biggest rivals too. And he must have known that, lining up that free kick. This could be promotion or not. It could come down to that, and he puts.
But
it
he's got it.
corner.
You know, what
so
I mean?
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Technique.
Taylor Allen has got it definitely, because if we don't go up, he's going. Surely, I don't know when we've got him till though.
Hopefully, he'd be loyal because he's a local lad. But
and
I mean,
as well,
but it'll be tough though, wouldn't it, to go again? I think for a lot of the players, it will. For anyone who's any good in that squad, it ain't like if you finish 5th and then you try, you come close and you think next year we'll go again and we'll push up a bit higher and then we'll get ultimate. I mean, this is really hard to come back from.
It's so hard to come back from, like we said before. The sentiment.
We can't let it happen. But
but 8 goals and 7 assists, like you can't.
No, he's done amazing.
Incredible play.
And he was ice cold there, and he saved the day, definitely. So in the end, that's 6 games, 4 draws, 2 losses, 4 points from an available 18. Which is, I mean, it just is absolutely mental, and it really for a team that's top of the league. If it weren't for the rest of them bottling it that hard, I mean,
where would we be?
How on earth are we still top? We're still top. Not just in the automatic. We are still top of the league somehow.
But at least, the end of the like this kind of part of the season, and obviously the final day is when it all really matters, and when it all really shows what kind of team you are, where you finish. You know what I mean? So maybe we were meant to finish top, like the other teams were meant to kind of give us that as well, but we didn't see that coming, because obviously if we imagine that form, if we imagine the form of March at the start of March, we would have been like, nah, there's no way, because those teams are going to win, but they didn't. So
that's it.
But I think we could just be lucky in the end.
I think in April we're going to struggle to ride our luck again, though, because you can't see all 3 of them picking up 2 or 3 points in the whole of April. They're going to start winning a few games, aren't they? One of them or 2 of them.
Exactly, and we've got to play. We've got to play.
So we scored 5, conceded 8 in March. So pretty poor.
Very poor. But...
And before we come on to our new thing, Man of the Month.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about a few things here. One of them, I think, is on that 8 goals conceded and 5 scored, because I was talking to someone the other day and I was saying that I think at this point, I weren't really buying into it in January and in February, but I think at this point you've got to say that I think being contrarian and saying that losing low isn't the thing. I don't know if we can do it anymore. Like it just is blatantly obvious that has completely torpedoed our season. I mean, Mark Robbins has basically completely fucked us. Like he's totally just gutted our season.
Definitely.
And I think because people were saying, oh, well, it ain't that. It's all the defending's gone to shit, and Lowe wouldn't have had anything to do with that. I don't even necessarily agree with that, because I think if you're on the front foot more and you're attacking more, which we would have been with Lowe, because he can hold the ball up, he's a great player. We're in their area, having shots, having corners.
Yeah.
But even if you did say that, you can't tell me that scoring 5 goals in 6 is enough as well. We would have been scoring 12 in 6 for sure in months gone by, if not more.
Definitely.
In fact, we could even look here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So December 14 scored in December. November
14.
Let me see.
Still coming from all over the pitch, but yeah, without
we only scored 8 in November.
I
mean, it's more than 5, isn't it? But that 14 from December was just unreal. Have a look at October here. 11. Yeah. So, I mean, this is the difference between, 5, you double it when losing your team, or in November you triple it.
Yeah.
So, even if we are conceding these goals here where, Swindon scored a goal, we would have scored a goal that day, probably 2.
Definitely.
And same with Wimbledon yesterday. If Lowe's on the pitch, they might not even score their goals as well because they don't have as many attacks when we're...
Well, that's the thing, yeah. Like, he's like... I heard someone say, like, Lowe was kind of like... Your first line of defence is like the strikers, basically. And, there's nothing to offer from... Well, Matt can... We can't better.
Press as much as
DJ literally offers nothing... Except for tapping
That's why
goals
missing Gordon and Harrison
yards.
As well. When we had Gordon, at least when Lowe went, you were like, okay,
Gordon can get about,
we can still keep our shape. And then Harrison
can get about. Definitely.
Now it's like you've got Adoma, Amanchi, and Matt, and that isn't going to be a front-footed sort of defence. And DJ,
all of them, all of them, and it just shows. But
it's tough. I think, to be honest, Lowe papered over the cracks as well because I think. It's easy. I don't want to slate Sadler too much because obviously it's old news, but I think it's easy to look like a fantastic young coach doing all the right things when it's all going well, when you've got a lad in your team who's probably going to be playing in the Premier in a couple of years.
Yeah,
and
I guess so.
Banging them in and dictating the play and being, like you said, first line of defence. And I think probably it was never that he's this tactical genius. It just was Lowe was papering over the cracks and now he's gone. It's plain for all to see, easy to work out the system. And there's no fear anymore.
Yeah, there is no fear.
Because who have you got to fear in that team other than him, really? So there are some good players in there. Of course there are. Alan, Jealous. But I mean, in terms of being afraid, though, going into the game.
He was, one of the key parts of the puzzle. But I still wouldn't say that, we're nothing without him, obviously.
Nah, definitely not.
But it's
the lads deserve credit for...
hole
I really do think I'm past angry at this point with Sadler. I honestly do think I don't think he's very good, if that makes sense. And I know that we're top of the league and people find that hard to believe, but like I just think
fan base is kind of split on that, I'd say. At the moment.
Absolutely. There
are still half people.
And me, I've flip-flopped on it like 8 times. I'll openly say that. Last year I was completely raging at him. First half of this season, I thought, okay, fair play. He needed time and he's coming to his own and all that. Now I'm thinking, well, he did build he deserves credit for the things that we did well.
Yeah.
But I think that they looked a lot better with Lowe and that was a big part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And now he's gone. I feel like he hasn't got enough about him to solve that puzzle without Lowe. And I think a big part of it, there's 2, and we've talked about him over and people keep mentioning him on Twitter all the time. And it's just, I don't know how even fans of him, I don't know how you can disagree that like he is so stubborn.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's got a burner. He lives on Twitter. He sees what people say and he goes, I'll show you that I know more than you because you never played the game and I won't take Barrett out for 2 months, 3 months. I'll keep leaving him in. And I won't play DJ because people want it. All these things he's been doing since last season as well. And I think sometimes he gets it right. Like with the DJ thing before, that was a good choice. We shouldn't have been playing him. And as the weekend showed, he shouldn't be starting. But I think even if it weren't right, he would do it anyway. Because he just wants to be the cleverest man in the room. And it's the same with the tactics. He's so, again, rigid. It's the same subs every time. It's the exact same shape. He won't try anything different. And then when he does try something different, it just feels like he's throwing shit
too
at the
late
wall.
Or
I thought I like Hornby and I feel like he's done well. But if anything, he should have been having more chances earlier in the season when he was doing amazing in the Cups.
Definitely.
Then he didn't want to know, Sadler. If anything, then he's not playing him in the FA Cup. He's playing Simkin instead and we're going out on pens and that, which Hornby probably would have saved. So you're like, what the fuck are you doing there?
Yeah.
And then he decides halfway through the season, towards the end of the season, I'll just take Simkin out and put Hornby. And I'm not saying that it necessarily goes down much because I think Hornby has made some really good, important saves in the last few games. But his distribution's terrible. And in these last 2 games, it's been laughable, the distribution. And not only that, I don't think it was a problem, though, that needed fixing. So it's if you're going to change a few things, because the players can't take on board all that stuff. So if you're going to confuse them, you're going to have to confuse them a bit and try a couple new things, right? So pick the right things to try.
Yeah.
Why you're trying a new keeper, they're not used to each other and that with the centre-backs. When that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that wasn't the problem.
It was fine.
Oh, God.
But man. Barrett remains.
I don't know.
And now he's gone, we know, because of suspension. But
again, the stubbornness comes in again with playing McKenty all the time.
Again, yeah.
And he's probably been like, oh, well,
he's been paused
because I have to play McKenty, because, I don't know, just some oath that he's made to him or something. That, it's not working, so it must be that I don't drop McKenty out. I'll just keep McKenty and put Hornby in, because he must have been training with him for ages while they were both, just on the bench or injured or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
it's bizarre.
It's just mental,
I feel like I like McKenty in general, and I've really enjoyed him last season and most of this season.
Yeah.
But the last few games that he's tried him, he's been pretty poor. Yeah. And why isn't Williams playing again?
Yeah, we need to know.
Like, if he's not injured, which he's not, what's going on? And it can't be this thing about, fitness or whatever. It don't matter anymore. We haven't got time for that. Even if he's walking wounded, get him on. You can always take him off if he gets crocked in the second half. And
just let him start.
Let him start, man. We need to take risks. This is the time where if you play an FM and he's on orange heart, just get him in. You know what I mean? And we'll worry about it later. At least then we can have a good first half and good first 60 and be on, winning, and then you can take him off.
Yeah. I
don't know, but I mean, it's the same thing with George Hall. I saw his interview with that. I couldn't believe. Well, no, I didn't see it actually. I was on Daz Hale's radio show, which I'm a regular contributor to.
Big up Daz Hale.
Big up Daz Hale. But on this occasion, Daz wasn't in. Mike Taylor was filling in for him. And anyway, we were talking. And before we talked, he played Matt Sadler's interview from midweek or whatever. This was Thursday or Wednesday or something. And he said, George Hall's back. The interview, it's great to have George back. What do you think or whatever? And Sadler's like, yeah, we got to be careful though. You know what I mean? Because we want to take it slow with him and that. And I'm like, what are you on about? And I even had to go on Wikipedia because I thought, did we get him permanently? Because I could swear he's Birmingham City.
Yeah, he's long.
And I had a look, and he is.
Yeah.
So you're saying we've got 7 games left that are not just this season, the next 10 seasons of our club could depend on. This could be, monumental for the club, for the town.
Anything slow right now.
And he's going, but what if? I don't give a fuck if he ends the season and then he's out for 8 months. He's their player. What are you on about?
Yeah.
Get him in the team. He came on against Wimbledon, and again, huge difference he made. Him and a Simway together.
Yeah.
That's when we actually started being dangerous, last kind of 15, when he brought on Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
Simway had been our only danger that
he literally changed the whole game, definitely.
And Hall was fantastic. Even though it ain't like every touch he had was incredible, or I'm sure he did a couple of things wrong that people want to point out, but the energy changed.
Yeah, the energy changed, the way that we were driving. That last 20 minutes or whatever, we should have, if we had that extra minute that the dickhead ref again.
That was insane.
Yeah,
when he blew up on 93, 45 or something.
Yeah.
When it was 4 minutes added on, and the first minute of that was spent with a player down. So you're thinking it's got to go 95, if not 95-30. And he blows when we got to throw him right by their corner flag.
And the Manchi's down in the box.
Honestly, man. It's they want you to just to stab them. And it's just crazy. I don't know how more of them don't get killed. And it's
crazy. Yeah.
I'll tell you that you wouldn't get away with that in Turkey, honestly.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't, would you? And I know certain members of the football community would look at that as that's a good thing. It's a bad thing.
They need to know that.
If anything, we need to start emulating Turkey. That's where it's at. You know what I mean? They know how to do this.
Then they might fix up, man. But yeah, we could have definitely won that game on Saturday because as soon as Hall came on and we made some more changes.
This is not the time now.
Tempo was amazing.
If you're 5 games in or 10 games in, someone come back from injury. Yeah, of course you slow roll it because you want to. You don't want them to have a reoccurrence. But now, if he comes in, plays the full 90 for the next 3, and we win all 3, and then he gets crocked, worthwhile.
Definitely,
you know what I mean? It's
worthwhile.
God, man, we ain't got time to be.
But I'll throw something in. I think that a lot of people have said how connected Sadler is to Birmingham City, and that's why it is. And that's what it is. He's pandering to them because they're like, bro, don't throw him right in there and get him injured again.
City, man.
Fuck them, bro.
Get
him in there, man. Yeah,
get him in the team, man. Jesus, I couldn't give a fuck about them.
Sadler's allegiance to, or just at least, you know what I mean.
Because look at it this way as well. It's good to have their young lads and that, whatever, yeah. But we're only targeting young lads off them because we're in League 2. When we go up and go into League 1, we can be getting lads from Wolves, Villa, bigger and better clubs with better young players.
Exactly, yeah.
So fuck them. Don't worry about pleasing them. They're only giving us their players because they're in League 1 anyway. They'll be back in the Championship next year.
And they won't want to know then again.
And we could be in League 1 if we use their players that they gave us and actually win games.
Use them, Oh man, but he don't. Yeah.
But anyway, on that, right? Obviously, a Simway. Yeah, just this is. I'm telling you, it's mental. Honestly, this guy, sadly, I feel like he's an actual terrorist. And he's out to just bring down the not just the club but the town. He wants us to go into National League. He wants it to the whole community to just the club closes, hundreds of jobs gone. He just wants to kill the town. Honestly, it's just insane. Like you've got Barrett. He's an absolute. He was good at the first sort of. I'm not even going to say first half of the season. Legit, till October, maybe a bit of November. He's been shit for longer than I can fucking remember.
He's just knackered.
We're all crying out, yeah. Yeah, he's either knackered or he got too gassed up off the fame and of being top of the league. Either way, we'll never know. Probably is knackered, fair play to him, and he shouldn't be getting this abuse from me.
Exactly.
Because when he got knackered, he should have been took out of the team.
Exactly.
And you could even play a Doma there. But since January, and we've had a Simway, Charlton must be thinking, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why is he never, ever played? Not even off the bench for 5 minutes, he never,
Great business
ever played.
With Charlton, yeah. Nice one, fuck's sake. They
certainly won't be sending us any players. I'll tell you that. We won't want to worry about them. Forget Birmingham.
Yeah. Oh, God, man. But he's incredible.
But then
he needs
Barrett gets suspended, yeah, right. So thank God he's out for 3. I mean, I think there's one more that he can't bring him in. I think.
Is there one?
I think Donny's. I think it's a 3-match ban on it. I think. Hopefully. Again, no offense to him, but he needs the rest in it.
Yeah,
he'll be thankful for it.
Yeah.
To go out the firing line as well. A Simway, the 2 games he's played, amazing. I saw loads of people on Twitter. I was like, God, honestly, this fan base sometimes, I swear down. They were saying that last cross at the end there. Stop fucking about and doing 4 step overs and just get it in the box first time and all that. And I'm like, fair play. I'm fair. You might even say that's true, but you're telling me that's worthy of a tweet. When the rest of the game, he's going past people to the byline, he's putting the ball in, he's scaring the shit out of them. Yeah, he's the only player on the pitch who looks like he could actually do something dangerous till Hall comes on.
Yeah.
And he's getting dug out for not putting the ball in quick. Oh man.
It's mad, isn't it?
A Simway has to start the rest of the last 7 games. I don't care if Barrett comes back. So Simway's got to play.
Yeah, he's got to play until he just either can't or he's just
Let me ask you this.
He's not gonna.
If Barrett comes back from suspension and he brings him straight in for a Simway, will you agree that he's an agent? That Sadler is some kind of agent against us?
Agent.
He's Daryl Clark's boyfriend or something.
Take it, yeah.
And it's all a plan to just fucking get our hopes up loads and then just...
Probably. But, he's that stubborn that he might do that.
You can't. You cannot. You just can't look at Barrett literally walking over to press people.
Yeah.
Just not even aware. Sometimes he's not even turning around and see where the ball is.
He used to go straight through people. He used to take people on constantly and just deliver these amazing balls. And then, just something happened and he just wasn't taking anyone in and
I think
taking
it's
anyone
the 90 minutes of every game for 60 games probably, and now he just feels like he's a bit alive and he needs the rest. But finally he gets it. Please don't bring him back in for a Simway. At least let a Simway fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let him do something that is disagreeable, and then put Barrett in or put Barrett on after 60 or whatever, you know what I mean?
But a Simway's got to be starting the rest of the season, really.
But we need to use our depth definitely in these last games. Either way, I think just use as many players as you can, use all the subs, you know what I mean? And I think fresh legs is quite important at the moment for us. So.
Well, that's been a complaint all along, hasn't it? If I remember, if I'm right, you get months, 5, don't you, in League 2? You get 5 subs. And regularly he's making 1 or 2, which is absolutely obscene.
I mean, the last couple of games he has made quite a few, which is obviously the thing to do. So
at the weekend he did, I think so. Did it. But, fair play to him for that. Know. But let's keep that going now.
Carry on. Yeah, exactly. He needs
Treat
to carry
it
on.
like you have to. Like there's not even it's the rule. You have to use all 5.
You have to use the 5. Yeah, exactly.
Remember what we used to say all the time as well was that's the maddest thing. For the first few months of the season, we talked about. Look how much depth we've got in the squad. Look all the options we've got in every position. Other than right wing back, till we got a Simway, we don't really have anyone. And Liam Gordon, there's never really been anyone who can reach his level. Yeah, but other than that, it's just quality everywhere. But he kept playing the same team. And for a while, you're like, okay, fair play. They're playing well. You don't want to disrupt it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think, I can't remember what the stat is now, but we're one of the top, if not the top in the league for playing the least players and minutes on average per player and all that.
Yeah.
And some people could look and go, oh, well, that's why we're top of the league, continuity and all that. But at this point, it clearly ain't been working now for at least 2, if not 3 months where we've been horrific.
Yeah,
You've got to get that squad working, man. And in terms of the starting lineup and especially in the second half subs. I mean, could you be making a sub at half time here and there?
Yeah.
These are the lads that come in ain't shit, you know what I mean? They're more than capable of slotting in. If you bring in say, if you take Lakin off and you put, say, Weir in there, the drop-off's not huge. He's more than capable.
Yeah.
When
definitely.
Barrett's back to his full fitness, hopefully, if a Sinway comes off on 70 for Barrett, no problem. Same thing with the strikers, even the centre-backs. I mean, if some of them are getting leggy and they're getting done in behind, we've got options there. Just use them.
Got to use them, man.
But
got to use them.
He's very loyal, isn't he? Which you said before. He's loyal and stubborn.
Loyal
to
and
a
stubborn.
fault, I would say.
Which was great at the first 4 or 5 months or whatever. But yeah.
But you turn off your squad players because you make them, say, 14 core players that you always play. You make them feel good and they love you and think that they're secure and everything. But what are you saying to the rest of them? I mean, I can't believe a Sinway's been this good because I wouldn't be surprised if he came in and he was terrible because he'd probably just be like, I ain't fucking bothered. Why would I care? He treated me like shit for like 3 months, so I'm not going to try my fucking tits off for you now.
Exactly. It's
but
amazing
he is
trying. Exactly, and proving that he should be starting.
When
really.
Conley comes in for Sturk, I mean, I think there is a slight drop off there.
Yeah,
we must remember though, Conley. He's only a bit off the pace now because he got that injury. He was our player of the season last year. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
So let's not forget. But even if you say there's a 10% drop off, you'd rather have a sort of 10% less good Sturk with full energy in his legs on 65, 70. Because Sturk does a lot of work, doesn't he? As well?
Yeah, exactly.
So, give him a break. But
yeah.
I don't know.
The
striker's the main problem, though, isn't it, really? It is. Because even if you make them subs, to be fair to Sadler, without Gordon and without Harrison, obviously without Lowe, like, you ain't got a lot of choice, have you? If you're swapping out, say, DJ for a Manchi or a Doma for Matt, like, it ain't like their opposition players ain't going, oh my God.
Yeah, and they're not going, oh, that's something completely different for me to deal with. No, it's
identical.
The same old dude that's, well, not in a Manchi, but the rest, just some old dudes that can't run, but they might be skilled, definitely.
My brother, who we go to the game with every week, he said the other day that had a really good point, that if you want to try something different, I think one of the main problems we have is we used to have that sort of big man, little man with Matt and Lowe, or you'd have Matt and Gordon, and you'd have the guy who can hold it up, and then you'd have someone quick with legs around him for him to flick it onto or pass it onto and all that. And now you can't, because DJ has got more legs than he used to since he's been on the Pilates, he has, but nowhere near as much, and definitely not for 90 minutes. Could you not play George Hall as like a sort of shadow striker off Matt? He'll be like a CAM, but push him right up there behind Matt so that there's someone there who can buzz around. Because at the minute, you've just got two, like the same with Adoma. He can hold the ball up, but then what does he do? There's no one there. Because he's going to pass it to Matt. Matt's probably nowhere near him. The strikers are never close enough to each other because they're too slow to get close to each other.
Exactly.
Whereas with Hall, he could be all the way over here, but as soon as he sees the ball going towards Matt, he'll be running in behind for the flick on, coming close to get the ball to feet.
That was Low as well. Yeah.
That was Low.
We've missed him, but I think George Hall needs to be definitely utilised fully right now in every single game of the rest of the season. 1,000%.
And of course, obviously, the first thing you'd think is obviously you put him in one of the three, don't you, in the midfield? But then I'm thinking, again, like we said, try something different, something they're not going to expect. Like, don't just do that, because again, that ain't necessarily an area that's a problem. Jelly, Sturk, and Lakin are all really good.
Yeah,
so if you take one of them out,
it don't make sense.
Where's the weak link, really? It's up front.
It's up front,
and it ain't necessarily Matt, because Lowe was so good as well. Because of Matt brought out the best in Lowe.
Yeah.
So he can easily do. When Harrison was starting to hit his straps, he was benefiting from Lowe. I think Hall could benefit from Lowe, and he could be a sort of like a kind of false nine pseudo striker, and I think Hall, we could get some success out of that. But do we think that the stubborn guy, he's hardly like, it's not Mikel Arteta or whatever. He's not going to be like thinking, how can I try something out of the box? It's just,
it's just,
he's just going to go, nah, if I trust him enough, Matt and Amanchi, even though the exact same profile and got no legs, and I've seen for like literally months that it can't happen, but it will eventually if I just trust him. It's like, nah, you can't just pray, man. Like, you can't just keep praying. You need to actually do it, like change it.
Yeah. I think Matt and Amanchi could start if Harrison's not ready for
more than Doncaster. DJ for sure.
Yeah, definitely over DJ, 1,000%. Could always bring DJ on.
Because at least you got a lot of physical
DJ's
presence.
good right at the end, though. He's actually good right at the end. All the flack that Sadler gets for bringing him on at the end, that's kind of what he's meant for in the style that we play.
It's because he takes the piss with it, though. 87 minutes
of
is
course.
retarded.
Yeah, exactly.
70 is great.
So he does stuff to not help himself, although he might be trying the right thing, but then
I'm sure plenty of us, even the diehard DJers, would not complain about 70 or 75, because more time when you do that, he actually scores.
Exactly.
So all them, all the DJ clappers are loving that as well, and we're loving it as well.
Yep.
And everyone's happy, but
it's the effect that we want, yeah. Whereas you start him, but what's he gonna? I thought that was interesting. I was welcoming the change, but I was still like,
it don't work. The experiment don't work.
Of course, it don't.
You can't.
Well.
I mean, if anything, if you were gonna do that, him and Lowe would have worked or something. Maybe you know what I mean. Someone else, because then it'd be the opposite. If anything, he's the one who's holding, even though he's not tall. He's got that sort of,
he's still
experience.
Tall
he could hold it up, pass it off.
I mean, he's still kind of big man, little man, but yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so to sum it all up, happy. So we're coming on to our newest feature now. All the long-term fans, all you hundreds of adoring fans and people on the other message boards who hate us and that from the other clubs and that.
Yeah.
You stayed tuned in this long because you're ready for Man of the Month. Joe, who's the Man of the Month for the first ever Man of the Month from the From Poundland to Paradise podcast from March 2025? Who is it, Joe?
First ever Man of the Month is Taylor Allen.
Boo.
Of course.
It's Connor Barrett. Nah.
It's Taylor Allen, man. Gotta love him. Tails, incredible player. Just, like I said earlier as well, 8 goals and 7 assists is just ridiculous.
And more importantly, in this month, 2 great goals.
2 great goals in 1 month.
Bearing in mind, we scored 5.
And
he scored 40% of our entire team's goals from centre-back.
Our defenders leading the scoring in the month, basically.
Which says probably a lot of bad stuff about the team. But, I mean, the finish in the first one when...
Carlisle.
When Sturk pushes it over the top and the blue UV lights are just beautiful. And then the free kick against Wimbledon at the weekend. Oh my God.
Unreal,
the scenes, man. I think I've celebrated a goal more this season.
Yeah,
that was. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, that was unreal, man. I was thinking he can do it, but it's just like typical us. He won't, and then we'll just lose at home and it'll be fucking. But thank God he saved us again, basically.
And even if people, I'm sure some people think he's overhyped or whatever, and fair enough, but. Like, even if the rest of his game and even defending, even if it's only solid there and not exceptional, when for set plays, not just the free kicks, but the corners as well, the difference it makes when he gets over a corner. And you are thinking legitimately this could go in the goal.
Yeah.
Or the keeper could end up scrambling it off the line. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, the way he delivers the ball.
He's got an incredible wand on him. And that's one more thing though before we move on to the fixtures for April that we didn't touch on that we wanted to is Evan Weir, and he should be playing as well. Another guy who every time he comes on he does really well.
Him and Hall changed mainly Hall, but Weir changed the game as well. Like,
could we
just so athletic and just at him as well. I
think if you play him on the left side of the 3, Williams needs to be playing in the middle no matter what, unless he is like fully dead in the middle. Akagbu on the right. Akagbu is always worse when he has to come into the middle. Williams obviously just makes all the defenders around him better. And then you could have Weir on the left side of the 3. And could you then push Allen into midfield where Lakin is? Or this might be a bit left field, but I feel like maybe even... I think Liam Gordon's been fantastic all season, maybe even player of the year. But could he maybe even have rest? And could we try something different and have Allen on the left wing back?
Maybe. He has played there before. I'm sure he's played there before.
When we've needed it. And this wouldn't even be for that. It wouldn't be like, we need it. It's a last resort. It'll be like their players are going to be like, we didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? What's happening here? This is weird. Like, and then the crosses, even from deep. He don't necessarily have to take the player on like Gordon and get to the ball line. He could be crossing from like 35 yards out. Yeah. And the ball's going to be just unreal every time. There's Matt to nod it down.
Yeah.
For George Hall to tap in. And I feel like it could work. And the reason why I think it could as well is because if you bring Williams back into the back 3, he'll bring that solidity that'll be able to cover for maybe the defence not being as strong because you won't have Gordon. Because I don't know if Allen can do the defensive side as well as Gordon when it comes to being a wing back. But even if he has a bit of trouble, you've got Williams there. even if they beat him on the ball and get the ball in, Williams will always head it away.
Yeah. You're right,
it's an
man.
idea,
I feel like that could be amazing.
Give Weir a chance.
So good.
Because to be fair to Sadler on the Weir thing, it's not as egregious as like with Asimwe and Barrett. Because in theory, if you bring in Weir in, you're losing Allen, which we don't want. He's the man.
Of course not. Yeah.
So that's why you got to be a bit inventive if you want to do that. So I think put him where Lakin is, or maybe even put him where Gordon is. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see if the tactical mastermind makes any changes in April, or if he stays really stubborn. So April. We thought March was make or break.
Yeah.
This actually is make or break. Yeah, this
literally
is.
We said the last one was, but this actually is.
It literally cannot not be make
so
or break.
Hold on to your seats, people.
We've done the first of our 3 games in 7 days of just. I mean, the fact that the fixtures line up like this is. If the EFL could have designed it at the start of the season, they couldn't have designed it more.
Yeah,
it's absolutely gorgeous.
Crucial.
You got for a neutral, you got the Wimbledon game. Then on Tuesday, we've got Donny away. And then on Saturday, we've got Vale at home in the early kickoff. So with them 3 games, we've got 1 point so far out of the 3. God, if we lose even one of these other 2, it's going to be really bad.
I know. Yeah, we need to be... Oh, God.
Even 3 draws. Yeah. I mean, it might sound bad, but you're stopping them from gaining on you.
So, yeah, and then obviously we've got 4 teams that are just coasting in the middle.
Yeah.
So
after that.
Yeah, if we can get the point, even just 1 point and take 2 points from all those 3.
I think if we get a point from Vale and Donny, and that means we've got 3 points from them 3, and we've kept them all at arm's reach.
Yeah.
And then going into the 4-game run, then Barrow away, Harrogate at home, Newport away, Accrington at home. They are all on the beach.
Yeah, they're on the beach.
They're on the beach. It's just they're in the sea at this point. Honestly.
Yeah. If our team can't get 3 points out of every game of those, it's just
they're on the jet skis. Honestly, they are. They've had 10 points. They're on the jet skis. They couldn't give a shit. They're sunburned. They've been out there for weeks.
Yeah.
They've just got the pina coladas going. They couldn't give a fuck.
They don't care.
There's not a chance in hell any of them can go down because Morecambe and Carlisle are just dead.
And there's no way they can go.
There's no way they can do anything positive.
No way.
I mean, they're where we have been in past years.
Exactly.
And then we get smashed by Swindon 5-0 on the last game of the season or whatever, because that's how this works.
Yep, because Swindon wanted to go.
So you've got to be going to Barrow.
That's it.
Absolutely smashing them.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Harrogate, Newport, Accrington.
Yeah.
These games really are piss easy. So if we can be still, nice gap to 4th going into them games.
That could be
easy.
Yeah. If we do what we should be doing, then we'll be going up as champions, I reckon.
But you don't want to go into them with too much pressure. God forbid if we lost them 2 next games.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say we do in theory. We definitely won't be top, and I think we'll probably be on the face of it, probably at least 3rd, potentially 4th.
Yeah, who knows?
If those 2 results go that way, and then you go in, we can beat all these teams, but then you're hoping for the others to drop points. That won't be the case. If we stay in the top 3, if we go into the Barrow game 3rd or above, then we know it's in our hands. All we got to do is beat these jobbers who ain't even trying. They're not even there.
Get 12 points and then we're flying.
And then you're absolutely up. And then we go into that Crew game, it's already done.
Guaranteed.
Because again, that's what you don't want to go to the Fortress Mornflake. Because they're trying to get in the playoffs as well, so it's even worse. They're going to be so up for it. Can you imagine the Morflake Mafia are going to be going mental laughing at us too?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Walsall dropped to 4th and Crew are in 7th. And the Mafia are just like giving us all the hand signals. And
at the last day of the season. God, that'd be just terrifying. Just awful. But
and my second favourite stadium ever as well, the Morflake Fortress, man. Come on, we can't. We've got to get clear of 4th before that happens.
Exactly. So
and on paper, we really should.
Yeah. We really, really should. So if anything, we should have nothing to worry about. But from the last month, it just doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? So
no, I mean, that's the thing.
Let's just stay hopeful, people. Let's just get behind them, because we've got to get behind them now. We've got nothing else to do.
At least Gillingham and Bromley, we drew with both of them, and they had nothing on.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything you need to know. I don't necessarily mean that it's going to be a guaranteed win.
Yeah,
but you would say, though, if you've got nothing on in March, it's different to having nothing on in April. Because when you've got nothing on in April, you really have got the
Yeah.
holidays. So you've got
It's
the tickets
so close.
booked. So you just can't wait to take the wife and kids away.
That's
It really
it.
is coming into view. And
Yeah, yeah.
in March,
yeah,
you're still thinking, you're like halfway through your shift
and
and you're thinking, I ain't really bothered. It's the last day till Christmas and I'm not really trying.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that you're still there for. These lads are just going, let's go for a fag and don't even tell the boss and that. You know what I mean? Who cares? Like, we'll out in 5 minutes. So I am optimistic, but very cautiously so.
Yeah,
Especially because we can't score any goals to save our lives. So
that's
even
the thing. If we still had low, then obviously nothing would be. Well, it's not even talking. I'm not even going.
you
back
shouldn't
into
be that afraid
So-
with them 4 games of them teams necessarily coming and scoring many goals against us. So I think that because they're not going to try.
Yeah,
They're not even caring.
Fucking hope not.
But can we at least just get a goal
Yeah,
from each
yeah.
of them and just get over the line, man?
But like you say,
And then all's forgiven on Sadler and everyone. Then just it's all good. Then to do the trophy parade of the finishing third parade or whatever, and Barrett will be hanging off the edge of the coach and that, and I'll be like, "I love you, Barrett."
Love you, Barrett.
And Sadler, we've got Super Matty Sadler. Because we want that energy back, but you're making it
we
hard
need it
for us,
back.
man. Come on,
Jimmy,
just you know.
hopefully he listens to this podcast then.
Oh no,
Definitely.
he probably does. To be fair, but just. He probably just sits there with like a cognac going, these pussies don't know anything. And his assistants there, like Byfield's in the background going like, he's got a point about Barrett, man. I mean, you are on crack, aren't you? Why are you still playing Barrett, bro? This is wild, but anyway. So yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the From Poundland to Paradise podcast. Like, sub, tell your mates, all that stuff.
Lovely.
And yeah. We will be doing in mid-March. We'll recap the crew game.
Mid-April.
Hang on. No, sorry, May. Mid-May.
Okay. Yeah.
After
After. Yeah.
Both for wrong.
Jesus.
After the crew game, we'll obviously recap that, and then we'll do a end-of-season review where we'll hopefully crack open the champagne and talk about how by the end of it didn't matter, or maybe it did and we won, whatever.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we may well be prepping the playoffs.
Prepping for playoffs. Who knows?
So after the crew game, we'll do a pod for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, until next time.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace.